Some days are just simply a little harder to get moving than others. Maybe you're not in the flow and you're actually really fighting hard to accomplish some small things and get moving in your life. It's not always easy to find the flow. This is Peter Stone, and I want to welcome you to Stepping Up and Stepping Out, making 2023 your best year yet. Another new moon is upon us. The energy is high. It's great for new starts and hurdles, to get over the hurdles that are holding us back. I mean, there's 100 reasons why we find in our head not to do something, when in reality, the reality at the base core of this is that you need one good reason. And get the noise, the rest of the noise in the prison bars out of your head and just act on it. I don't own Nikes, but I'll tell you one thing. They have one of the best mottos yet. Just do it. And I find myself, when I'm stuck and I don't feel like it, you just got to do it. It's gotten me a long way. It's got me around the world. It's got many people to where they want to be, or at least up a few notches in their life by moving just a little bit, taking action on one thing. When you move forward, you start to get a little momentum. Whether you gain every day just a little bit. And you know, some days we've got to step backwards, not maybe one step, maybe 3 steps to move ahead 5. But such as it is, it really doesn't matter in the moment. It doesn't feel good. We feel like we've lost and we haven't gained the things that we want in the moment. But with a little vision, looking forward and looking backwards and saying, you know, I've had some pretty bad days. I've had some days that did not serve me well. But those passed, and some amazing days came upon us all and gave us a little spark, a little strength. The fire, the glow within was ignited. And we moved forward, but maybe we fell backwards again. And what we must do, it's not should, it's not any of that stuff. It's a must. We must make up our mind when a thought, a clear thought, we know what's right, we know what's wrong, we know what's good for us, but we play around and play mind games with ourselves. And who loses? We do. When we zigzag around the things that we really need to do. And the purpose of stepping up and stepping out and making 2023 your best year yet, and checking in on the new moon and the full moon, which are both high energy times, good times to push a little harder because you've got a little extra help, a little extra energy. And if you're afraid and you're feeling fear and like, what's the use? But take that fear and turn it into the fuel that propels you forward. Just move on the fear. Get that nervous energy. Use it. It's a gift. And it's a whole nother ball game here when you start searching for the gifts in the uncomfortable moments. And you take that fear and you just say, I'm going to do it anyway. One thing, just one thing. It doesn't matter whether it's diet, finance, fitness, fun, some freedom, things that you've got to do, that you want to do, the goals, the dreams, and the desires that you've had for the new year. Or it could have been last year, or the year before, or the 5 years before those, and you still haven't got there. Now, this moment is the time to do it, to start, to say, I'm not turning back. I'll look back at my mistakes, I'll look back at my successes, and I will ride on the power of the successes. Every day, one of the biggest challenges people have is they see a guru, right? They see someone, oh, look at this. I want that big house. I want the big car. Or I want their centeredness or whatever it is that they want. And they say, I want to be like that person. But in reality, you never can be like that person. You can be like you. You can be the best you. And when it comes to measurement, and we look up and we compare, and we look up and we compare, and we're failing miserably when we compare ourselves against others. Who do we measure ourselves against morning, noon, and night? It is us. We measure against ourselves. There's only one person that's really important when it comes to measuring. You're never going to be the other person. So just throw that out and hop on the bandwagon of you, where you find the things that you really want. And use those people out there that inspire you and motivate you and lift you up and give you some energy. Use them as a model for the energy and the fire and the fuel that you can pull from them. Pick up on the vibes and move on that, but live into your world, your desire. You do things the way you want to. You don't have to go to the gym and lift 2,000 pounds of weights. You don't have to run 10 miles, and you don't have to do a triathlon. What you need to do is stay fit, move around, and get a little exercise. Eat well and stretch yourself. Do things that make your mind stretch and work on yourself and move forward a little bit at a time. And a little bit and a little bit. And then one day you just look back and you say like, wow, look what happened. And all I did was be persistent and stick with my dreams, my desires. You don't have to do it all in a day, a week, or even a year. But you have to do something and break out. I mean, we have days that don't work well, and that's okay. This is human. This is our journey, and it's all right. But those days are to like sit back and perhaps think a little bit with a little introspection and review our life a little bit. Sit quiet and say, well, what could I do better? What do I want in my life? You take a piece of paper. What do I want in my life? What do I really, really want? Make that list. Fun, finance, freedom, fitness, food, whatever it is that you want in your life. Go for it. Write that list down. I mean, really make sure it vibes with you and you feel good. And if you don't really know some of the things, just write. And get quiet. Leave the phone away. Shut off the music. Sit in the breeze. Feel the sunshine. Feel the wind, cold wind, warm wind, whatever it is. Feel it and feel life. And then extract the things deep from within. Then, after you've done that, you want to make a list of the things that you will not do again. You will not allow into your life. And it takes a lot of time and effort to break the habits that we've had. Who knows for how long? I don't know how long. Months, years, decades. And when we start breaking and changing and getting some momentum, and start seeing little wins and some big wins, man, then we say, wow, look at what I've done. And you start to feel good. And that puts you in a cycle, into a momentum that propels you forward. Sure, the fears will come, but feed on the fear. Let it be the rocket fuel that propels you forward. This is Peter Stone, inviting you to make 2023 your best year yet, stepping up and stepping out to do so, to make it your best year. Yeah, there are tons of challenges everywhere, outside, Probably the biggest one is internal, mental here in your gut, in your being. But take command of it all, a little bit at a time. And if you want help with that, sign up below. Just get on our email list so you're tickled in to the new moon and the full moon. Maybe an SMS if you want a reminder to come back and measure yourself against yourself and see where you are every couple of weeks with your goals and desires. Do not let them go by. On the new year, New Year's Eve, we're doing our New Year's resolutions. Most people, at least more than 50% of the world, puts in, or at least in the USA and the Western world, we put in our goals and our New Year's. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to do more of this, and this is what I'm going to do. But usually that lasts like about 3 weeks, and it's faded. So I found out that, well, I really found out. I mean, we've all known it. Every 2 weeks, the moon goes into a powerful phase, either a new moon or a full moon, bright in the sky. And online, it's always there someplace on your calendars, wherever it is. Use it as the switch to address and go back to your goals and your dreams of the new year, and do not let them fade away. Stick with it, and you will have the best year yet. Click on the link below. Join me, join us for the journey of your lifetime. Fire it up and thus live life to its fullest.